Only in Major League Baseball, in the span of 24 hours, can you go from the feeling of ultimate defeat to the feeling of the best win of the season. Not even in 24 hours. What a win for the Mariners. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome into the Seattle Mariners post-game recap. Mariners win this one tonight, this afternoon, 7-6. They do take 2 out of 3 from the Astros, despite as frustrating as yesterday was. They do win this series, and that's what it's all about. If you can just keep winning series, you'll be fine. They win this one 7-6. They improved to 5-8 on the young season, and they will have an off day tomorrow before hosting the first place Texas Rangers. Before I go any further, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit subscribe if you are new or lurking. I'm trying to get to 5,000 subs this year, and don't forget to comment your thoughts on the game and the team down below. What a win. What a win for this team. Kudos to the guys for battling too. Because I'm not going to lie, I had checked out at 4. I had kind of checked out at 3-0, to be honest, especially 4-0, 5-0. And the drive to not give up. Randy Arozarena, how clutch, man. He has been clutch all season. Opening day home run, the double in San Francisco, the grand slam in the 8th, the walk in the 9th inning. What a game from Randy. Julio has got to get a shout out as well for that double off of Abreu. I was not optimistic going into that at bat. We've seen Julio struggle against Abreu. Actually, I think his numbers are pretty good against Abreu. They flashed it during that at bat. I think he's 3 for 10 against Abreu in his career. But after the at bat he had on Monday night, I just didn't feel good about this one. He gets down 0-2. Great job by Julio to stick with it, go the other way, not trying to do too much, which is great to see. Great to see from Julio. That's what we've needed. And just a tremendous at bat. And when your superstars, or who should be your superstars, come through, it just feels a little bit better when they put the team on their back. So for Randy to get the grand slam, then the walk, Julio at that double, and a couple other unsung heroes like Miles Mastroboni has been good. Like, we can make fun of him being on this roster, but he has been good. He has done his job. He had a huge base hit in the 9th inning there. Donovan Solano with the big hit. That was huge. I mean, this team is still, listen, this does not fix all the problems. Everything I said last night is true, right? There's nothing that's changed. But there are a little bit better record-wise today, but that stuff still holds true for what happened yesterday. But if you look at yesterday as the low point, going, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep watching the team play like this. The next game right after, they pull it out. They dropped one yesterday. You felt like they should have lost, and they win one today. They lost one yesterday. You felt like they should have won, and you win one today that probably felt like they should have lost this game. So you kind of stole one back the other way, which is huge. Huge as well. Listen, like I said, still a mess. You've still got, I'm getting 3 innings from Casey Lawrence. I've got Donovan Solano almost getting thrown out at third on JP's grounder. I've got Mastroboni getting big at-bats in the 9th. I've got the Pebble making starts. It's still a weird team. I don't know. You got Mitch Garver pinch hitting for Polanco. I've got Solano pinch hitting for Tellez. I don't know what's going on half the time with this team. But chaos can work, right? We've seen chaos ball work for this team. They can embrace it. They're going to have to, because they're even more banged up now with Ryan Bliss's injury. But when they're losing, it stinks. When they're winning, the chaos is fun, right? Like yesterday, I was screaming at that. How do we have these guys? How do you have Dom Canzone getting these at-bats? How do you have this? How do you have that? And today, they find a way, and it's kind of funny. You go, Miles Mastroboni, great, awesome. Why is he getting crucial at-bats? Who cares? He's been good. So it makes it more fun to embrace that stuff. So it's just a tremendous comeback win. Nice to see them win a game that was started in this George Kirby, spot that has gone to Hancock and now Luis F. Castillo. They're not getting good starts from it. It's going to be interesting to see what they do here going forward, but it's nice to win one of those. Like last year when they missed Brian Wu, while Emerson Hancock wasn't great, he held down the fort, right? Like he had that terrible start in Milwaukee, but the rest he was giving you 4 or 5 innings, 2-3 earned runs, keeping you in the game. They haven't gotten that yet. I guess the Pebble did kind of keep them in the game in San Francisco, but they haven't gotten even close to a quality start out of this spot yet. So Good to see them come back. And like I said, with the pitching matchup, Hunter Brown versus Luis F. Castillo, everything that went down early, it really feels like you stole one. And for a team like the Mariners that, I don't know where y'all had them projected. I think, most projections had them, 84 to 86. I think that's fair. That's about where I would put them. If you're a team like that, this is your margin. You need a few things to go right. And if that happens, you can get to 88, 89, right? You can do that. That hasn't happened for them so far. They've lost winnable games. They've lost some one-run games. Actually, 4-3 now in one-run games. Of course, the Mariners have played 7 one-run games already, of course. They've been bitten by the injury bug. It's not an excuse. Front office ownership still didn't do enough, but they have been snake bit early with injuries so far to start the season. You need those things to go right if you're an 84-win team to get to 88, 89. Right now, they've been the other way. Right now, they've been more the things go wrong, and this is a 77, 78 win team. But today was one that went right. It was a game that wasn't in their favor. It was a game they were getting blown out, and they found a way to get it done. I would like some easier wins and wins that I'm not sweating through eventually, please. But more of those. Steal those wins. You got to do that. You got to do that if you're going to get back in. I shouldn't say get back in it. We're 13 games in, but make a run throughout the summer as we get into the dog days. Here. Ryan Bliss tears his bicep. He goes on the IL. Gutted for Bliss. I thought he's looked pretty good. He's looked good defensively. The arm strength isn't great, but the range looks good. He had that tremendous play yesterday to save a run on Altuve's grounder, and he did that with a torn bicep and a double yesterday with that. But I feel like there's holes in his swing. He's going to strike out, but he's got a good approach at the plate, and he's hit some things hard. He has, and it finally paid off the last couple nights with a home run and a double for him. And he's just such an easy guy to root for, man. That smile's one of those ones that can light up a room. So I am really gutted for Bliss. I don't know a torn bicep. I'm assuming a few months for that. But now you've got some roster stuff to figure out here. I know Leo Rivas is up in the meantime. Maybe I go back to 2018. They made that great trade for Denard Spand and Alex Colomé. Maybe there's something out there like that they can do that would be great to help this team out. But in the short term, what I would personally do, and I could be dead wrong, it might not work out, I think I'd bring Ben Williamson up. You're going to get great defense at third base, so you're going to improve defensively. Are you going to improve offensively? Probably not. But there's nothing internal you can do to make this offense better. Like, honestly, the best bat that's probably hanging around that could help you is Dom Canzone. Like, that's probably the best potential offense you have that's in your system right now. Lasmont, like, those guys are years away. They're not ready yet. It's not them. It's not them right now. It is probably a Dom Canzone, which stinks because Dom Canzone is probably not very good. He's probably just a bit of a 4A player, to be honest, is probably what he's going to kind of fall into here. Hopefully not. Hopefully he steps up. Where's I going with this? But you can improve the defense. You don't think it matters? Look at last night. Yes, the offense was dreadful. It is not Dylan Moore's fault they lost that game last night. But what if Dylan Moore made that play against Yainer Diaz, right? Yandy Diaz is the Rays. Yainer Diaz. What if he makes that play? You might win that game 1-0. Does Ben Williamson make that play? I think he does. I'm pretty sure he makes that play. So maybe he doesn't hit, but gives you good defense at third. You've solved the problem over there. And listen, I get people don't like his bat. I'm not a prospect guy, so don't hold me to the fire. But if he can do like an 85 to 90 WRC plus with great defense, that's going to help this team. I liked Jose Iglesias in the offseason. Now, he had a great offensive season last year that I didn't think would hold up, but I thought you're going to get a really good defensive player that could give you that 90 WRC plus. Jose Iglesias would look really good on this team right about now. They could use him. Now, maybe Williamson's bat won't do that. Maybe it's going to be 50 WRC plus. Then you've got a problem, right? You can't be a complete black hole. But if he can just do enough, that defense solves a huge problem for this team. Then what I would do is I'd send Canzone back down. I'd have Rayleigh and Dylan Moore platoon and right. For the meantime, I guess I'd have Rowdy and Solano at first, Williamson at third. On the days when Dylan Moore isn't platooning with Rayleigh, he can play second. Leo Rivas can play some second. I'd kind of rotate through. Mastroboni, honestly, I'd give him some at-bats. He's looked fine so far. I'm not banking on him being great. That is probably what I would do. Maybe there's a trade out there. Mariner Sir and I talked about it. He talked about it. He mentioned Austin Slater. I think that'd be a great get from the White Sox. You probably could go get him right now. Robbie Grossman's a free agent. Maybe you do something like that. You just slide them in for Victor Robles. But I think the best thing you can do is you can improve the defense. A run saved is a run scored. They probably win that game last night with Williamson. We might be talking about a sweep. Never know. I'm not knocking Dylan Moore. I think he can fill in there fine, but he's just not an everyday third baseman. And Polanco can then just DH in that scenario as well. So that's what I would do. Hoping for Ryan Bliss, man. Really, really hurts. I love Ryan Bliss. He's just easy. One of my favorites. Easy guy to root for. Let's get into the box score. The Pebble, Luis F. Castillo, 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 5 walks, 3 Ks. Listen, he wasn't good. He wasn't good in San Francisco. I thought his stuff looked better than Emerson Hancock. I thought at least he was more competitive. And I still think he has been in those 2 starts versus Hancock's 1 start. But he was bad today. There was a couple little bloops that fell in there in the second inning, but I don't have a lot of sympathy when you're walking the world about bloops falling in on you. I get frustrated when bloops fall in against Kirby, Gilbert, Miller, Wu, because it's annoying, because they're so good when they're on that it's like, this is just frustrating. The Pebble was walking guys. And, I remember, this is just so random, but it was like 2008. I think it was Miguel Batista was pitching. And he was walking everybody, 3 walks. And then it was against the Padres. Don't remember who was hitting. It was a little blooper that just dropped in the right field line, cleared the bases. I remember Dave Neau saying it perfectly. Batista paid the price. He got what he deserved for walking the bases loaded with nobody out. It was like on 12 pitches too. And Dave's reaction was like, yep, that's what happens when you walk the world. If you don't do that and those bloops fall in, oh, cool. It's a 2-out single. Who cares? But anyways, yeah, so I want to be fair on that, because I'll mention that a lot with games like, oh, bloops fell in against these guys. Don't have sympathy when you're walking the world for it. Now, I thought at times Castillo's stuff looked okay. Like, I am still somewhat intrigued by him, but, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they want to do here, because, Jen Mueller was talking on the broadcast the other day, and it sounds like Kirby maybe mid-May, because he hasn't even started a rehab assignment yet. He has been throwing, and everything's going well, it sounds like. Remember, he didn't get any spring training. So it's not just going to be a 1 rehab start. He's probably going to need 3 or 4 minimum, I would think. I don't know, maybe 3. Maybe 3 is kind of the magic number for Kirby to get back out there. But even that is probably, if he starts next week, that would still be 3 weeks, which puts you into about mid-May. So that's probably the earliest possible return for George Kirby. That's going to be at least probably 4 more starts of these guys. I would maybe give Casey Lawrence a shot. Like, he throws strikes. Is he good? No, but he's done it before. He's right-handed Tommy Milone. Where's Tommy Milone? Can we get my man Tommy Milone back in here? Because when he was on the mound, you'd get 4 or 5 innings. He'd walk 1, strike out none, and give up 400-foot flyouts to Yordan Alvarez that died at the warning track. Where is my Tommy Milone? And he threw strikes, so it wasn't as gut-wrenching to watch if he did struggle. Someone call Tommy Milone, get him back in here. I mean, I honestly probably wouldn't work, because he'd need to go through, build up the arm strength. But maybe Casey Lawrence is just the guy that can do it. He can go 3, 4, 5 innings, give up 3 runs, walk 1, strike out 1, and who cares? We've seen him do it before and be okay for the Mariners in the past. So I might just give it to Casey Lawrence and see what happens, because it's not the Pebble. You're going to have the Pebble start in Cincinnati in that hitter's park. I don't think the Reds' offense is great. I could be wrong on that. Yeah, I know they were shut out 3 times in a row this year, all 1-0. Very Mariners of them. But man, that's going to be a tough park to watch Luis F. Castillo make a start in for sure. So he was not very good. Bullpen did its job. Bizzardo, solid 1 inning, 1 walk, 1 K. Snyder, 1 shutout inning with the strikeout. Casey Lawrence, I thought, was fine. 3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned 1 walk, no Ks. He came in when it was 4-0, so his job is to just eat up innings and save the rest of the guys. He did that. Beautiful. And there was that 8th inning where he gave up the sac fly to Alvarez, where the Mariners played a little Keystone's Cop out there in the outfield. Then they had a guy picked off, and Rivas made a terrible throw to Mastroboni. So, was he good? Probably not. I'm sure if you went back and broke it down, he wasn't good, but he did what he needed to do and ate up some innings and saved the rest of the bullpen. So nice outing from Casey Lawrence. Not quite sure why he was still out there in the ninth after the Mariners cut it to 1 run. I probably would have gone to Trent Thornton. See, we've come full circle. Opening day, I was wondering why Trent Thornton was in the eighth. Now I'm begging for some Trent Thornton action. So baseball, right? I didn't really get Dan keeping him in there for the ninth, but whatever. Like, again, all these little things. I just think at the end of the year, when we spend so much time breaking down, oh, this pitching change wasn't right. That's what teams do that aren't very good because they're looking for reasons why the team wasn't very good. I highly doubt the Dodgers are sitting there going, oh, wow, Dave Roberts is there a bad player in the Dodgers bullpen? Probably not. But that's the point, right? Like, good teams win, bad teams don't. The White Sox aren't losing because Will Venable's not making the right calls. The Angels weren't losing last year because Ron Washington didn't dial up the right stuff. Those teams lost because they're just not very good, right? At the end of the day, to me, Dan's job is to keep the clubhouse bought in, which they did today, keep the guys believing, keep them fighting, keep them together, and just try not to mess up too bad. That's it. That to me is a manager's role. And so far, I think Dan's been fine. I know some people disagree. I get it. Trust me, like, I don't understand Lawrence staying in there for the ninth. There's been some weird stuff that Dan has done for sure. But like, talent wins. And if you've got the horses, you will find a way to get there when it's all said and done. So bullpen was fine. I thought they did a nice job, and Lawrence does a nice job saving everybody else. The offense was abysmal for 6 1/3 or 7 1/3. Yes, for 7 1/3 against the Astros. Only struck out 6 times. They only struck out 3 times against Hunter Brown, but no walks and only 2 hits. It goes to show, while I do want the team to cut back on strikeouts, it's not just, oh my gosh, you're terrible because you strike out either, because they didn't strike out much against Brown. They didn't really do anything. So, but they do rebound in the 8th and 9th there to score 7 runs and end up putting up a good offensive performance. And hey, it doesn't matter when you get them, right? 7 runs is 7 runs. So a nice offensive showing for the Mariners. Julio 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a walk. I thought the walk was a really nice at bat in the 8th inning there. Again, nice to see Julio not going up there trying to hit the 10-run home run every time. Loved his at bat against Abreu. Didn't panic down 0-2. So good to see, and so cool to see Julio come through in that moment. Absolutely fantastic. Nice game for Julio today, reaching base twice. Polanco was 0 for 3 and then had Garver pinch hit for him. Listen, it's clear with the injury to his side that Polanco cannot swing the bat right-handed. What I don't get, Polanco's been good enough this year. Can he just bat lefty against lefty? Would it be that awful to just hit left-handed against left-handed pitching for him? I was thinking about that even last night. Like, I mean, I'd rather have Polanco take that at bat left-handed against Hader than Canzone. They had to pinch hit Garver for him, which I get, but then Garver strikes out, or did he pop out? He didn't strike out. What did Garver do in the 8th inning there? Sorry, let me pull it up here. Go to the bottom of the 8th, because that's when the pinch hit happened, right? Or was it? Yeah, it was the 8th inning. Sorry, let me pull it up there. Mastroboni singled, JP walked, Julio walked, Garver flew out to left. I don't mind that pinch hit too much, but like, I wonder if they're going to talk to Polanco about, like, dude, can you just hit lefty against lefty? Because it's clear, like, in Dan's defense, it's clear he can't swing the bat right-handed. That's obviously what's going on here. He's not playing against lefties, but he can swing the bat left-handed. I would just have him hit left-handed against left-handed pitching. Like, trust me, it can't be any worse than some of the other at-bats we've seen from this team. Mitch Garver 0 for 1 did have a nice walk against Abreu. It probably should have been strike 3. He froze Garver on that 3-2 pitch, but a good at-bat. Garver got behind 0-2, battled back, kept the game alive. Again, silver linings. That was a nice at-bat for Mitch Garver. Cal Raleigh was 0 for 5. Tough game for Cal. I thought for sure he was going to win it. Then he ended up grounding out to whoever's at first base, which was, I think, Caratini. It was Walker today. Why do I keep thinking Caratini's over at first? That was a little disappointing because Cal's a guy that puts the ball in the air, so thought he'd get something home there. But rough game from Cal. Kind of a rough start for Cal. Hit and miss again. He's a 3 for 4 away from being fine. Randy Arozarena, 2 for 3, 5 RBIs and 2 walks. Tremendous game from Randy. On base 4 times today. The grand slam as well. His RBIs, he's now up to 9 on the season. That was his 3rd home run. just tremendous at-bats from Randy. Really brings the energy as well. So good to see. Great game from Randy. Obviously the walk-off hero. Luke Raley 0 for 3 with a walk. Rowdy Tellez 0 for 2. I just don't know how much longer you can keep him. I mean, the injuries keep piling up, so it's hard to I don't know what you do there. I would just give first base to Solano full time. I don't know. Maybe I'd give Rowdy through the road trip. Let's see what happens, next homestand and next road trip. Maybe he gets hot and something happens. But I think if you're in that road trip and he's struggling, I don't think he's much longer for the roster. He was 0 for 2. Donovan Solano, 1 for 2 with the run scored. Nice to see him check in with the hit. It was a huge hit in that ninth inning. He was 0-2 against Abreu. And Abreu is brutal on right-handed hitters. Great at-bat there from Solano. Good job to stay on the base in that ninth inning when JP grounded out. I guess it would have been a fielder's choice. Yeah, grounded out. Gets his foot back on the bag. That would have been a disaster. So nice job by Solano to get back in there. Listen, good to see him checking in, right? Donovan Solano's been a good hitter. The issue is that he was the biggest offseason addition. That's the frustration. I do think he can help this baseball team. I do think he can hit against lefties. I think he just needs some more consistent at-bats. I'd kind of be done with the platoon and maybe use Rowdy as a just pinch hitter and see if he can come through. Let Solano play against some righties and see if he can kind of get going a little bit here. Dylan Moore was 0 for 2. Canzone pinched hit for him. Leo Rivas came in defensively then. I thought Rivas stung the ball pretty well in the ninth inning. So, good to see. Rivas was pretty good last year. So not crazy that he could contribute and be someone that helps the team. JP, better game, 1 for 3 with the base hit and a walk. Better, again. We've seen this team struggle. I'm taking it. JP came to the plate 4 times today and got on base twice. That's good. And how about Miles Mastroboni, 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and 2 hits? He's been solid. Keep it going until he doesn't keep it going anymore. He's been fine. He has absolutely done his job. Absolutely. We can make fun of him that he's on the roster. That's fine. But he has absolutely done his job this year. So good for him. And what a clutch hit from him against Brian Abreu in that ninth inning as well. So great win for the Mariners. Needed it. Need to start stacking some together. These are great. But, it goes away if you lose on Friday. Let's see if they can stack together a couple wins. And let's get this thing back to 500. Let's get this thing back to 500 at some point in that next road trip. And then let's go. Let's get going. Let's get Kirby back in there. And let's see if maybe Jerry can pull off some kind of trade, or maybe it's Williamson, or something can get figured out here, because it is a bit of a mess still. But for today and tomorrow, enjoy this W. Take care, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh, real quick, I mentioned at the end of my last video, I'll do it again today. I am going to be out of town starting tomorrow. Obviously, no game tomorrow. It's going to be tough on the recaps. I'll make a post what I'm going to do. It may be a very quick on the cell phone 3-4 minute video, but I will try to do everything I can to deliver the recaps. Have a great night, everybody. Go Mariners. Peace.